fired up in general. So I'm pretty fired up. I hope you guys are fired up. Hopefully everybody can hear me. If you guys can hear me okay, which it looks like you can because some of you guys are commenting. Awesome. Yes, you can hear me. Cool. I didn't even have to ask the question. You guys are just telling me, so that's good. So here we go. Let's get this underway. And I know we started at a weird, funky time tonight at 9:30. Normally it's 9 o'clock Eastern time. But you know what? Every now and then we like to be different. So there you go. Anyway, got a super cool guest on tonight. I hope you guys are fired up for that. As always, please, hope you guys have a notebook, have a pen. I know I do because I'm going to be prepared to take some notes. And you all should be prepared to take some notes too, because plain and simple, these webinars are here to provide you with value, to give you some education, some good old-fashioned knowledge that you guys can use and apply into your business so you can take that and run with it and get some awesome, amazing results. So first and foremost, if this is your very first time checking out one of these webinars, if this is your very first time learning about how to build a business online in the conference room here, whatever, what I want you to do is I just want you to drop a 1 in the chat box if this is your very first time here, so that obviously we can recognize you and we can let you know that we care about you and we're glad to have you guys here. Joyce, everybody tell Joyce, good to see you, Joyce. Glad you could be here. Jane, first time guest. Guest, do me a favor, log out, log back in with your real name so we know who you are. Oh boy, I don't even know how to pronounce that name. Cheek. Okay, you're gonna have to help me with that one. Richard, Rowe, Donna Lynn. This is not your first time. Come on now, let's go. Let's get with the program here. This is not Donna Lynn's first time in the conference room. But anyway, welcome everybody for it being your first time. Glad to have you guys here. For those that it is your first time, those of you guys that are just checking this out for the very first time, or those of you guys that have not gotten started yet, what I want you guys to do is hang around. Please make sure that you get all the value from this webinar, but hang around until the very, very end because we have something very, very special for you, and it has to do with the number 1. So just saying. So again, for all you guys that are brand new, for those of you guys that are here every single week, just want to welcome everybody to the Tuesday webinars. We're glad to have you guys here, and we're going to blind you with science, aka blind you with value, and make sure that we give you guys some good golden nuggets that you guys can take with you and apply into your business. Now, without further ado, our guest tonight, I can tell you right now that she has a pretty cool story for you, and it has to do with the national event, and it has to do with her car. I'll just leave it at that. But our first guest tonight, not our first guest, our only guest tonight, is a 100% a rising star with Now Lifestyle. She was recognized on stage by Joel Tarian as a rising star. She's given a cool little certificate, got to cross the stage in front of the audience at the national event, which is really, really awesome. She's already hit the leaderboard many, many times. She's a mom. She's a business owner. She's doing so many awesome things. So please welcome my guest tonight, our secret guest, Tara Roberts, up to the mic. So Tara, come on up, come say hi to everybody, and we will get this party started for sure. So hope you guys are excited. Again, take some notes. Get ready. What's up, Rockstar?
Can you see me okay?
Yeah, I can see you. I can hear you just fine.
Great. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? You're not wearing a Miller High Life hat, are you?
Oh, it's Shiner. I'm representing my state, Texas.
Oh, it'd be a lot cooler because High Life is like the champagne of beer. So I'm just,
I'm not. I like all drinks, so I'm good either way. But
that's
yeah,
awesome.
Part of my story anyway. So I just thought I'd wear it.
Perfect. It suits you well. So listen, hey, thank you for taking time out of your day to come hang out with us here in the world of Now Lifestyle, and everybody else that's joining us or watching the replay somewhere, all the thousands and thousands of people out there that end up watching this replay. So, first and foremost, you've been getting some pretty cool accolades as of late. That's pretty badass.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Well, let's get into this. I hope like I said, everybody's got some something to write on, some stuff, because we know that Tara's going to blind us with science here and give us some good old fashioned golden nuggets. But let's start from scratch if that's okay with you. You know, you're a normal everyday person. What made you say, you know, I want to build a business online? What made you look at something like Now Lifestyle and say, this is something I want to get into?
Well, let's back up a little bit. You know, I am probably an older side of the millennials. So I've always been interested online. Being online was just me, you know, growing up. And I got my degree in business marketing, actually. And I honestly got that because I wanted to have a kind of broad range of things that I could do because I wasn't so sure. You know, when you're 22, you don't know what you want to do. You grow up all the time.
Yep.
So, you know, straight out of college, I actually started working for some advertising agencies. One of them was Shiner was one of our customers, a big one of mine. I was always so proud of that. But starting my own business online was always like in the back of my head because I knew it was possible. And I always wanted to have a business for myself instead of work for, work for the man. So I spent 5 years working for advertising agencies, and it was a lot of fun, but you know, I was very young, early 20s, and I spent 12-hour days at work. They'd keep us up, you know, late at night, and you know, I wasn't barely making any money, and it was just like, how could
12-hour days is no fun. I've been there.
and I was making probably 30,000 a year, and you know, it was really rough. And the city, I live in Austin, and it's getting like populated now. Rents are going crazy, so I was struggling, and I was like, I knew I couldn't do this for the rest of my life, and I knew for sure I wanted to have a family, and that it would no way work out with like a small child at home, or even, you know, even a husband, because there's just no time left. And so, you know, luckily, I say this luckily, I actually got laid off from my last agency that I worked at. And then like a couple weeks later found out I was pregnant. So it kind of like worked out. And it kind of gave me time to think about what I wanted to do for my future. And I knew deep down that I always wanted to just have my own business. And I knew it was going to be online. I just didn't really know which direction I was going to go in. And so, you know, I started following people left and right, just like online leaders over the years. And I actually I taught myself how to do a lot of things. I was working specifically in digital marketing, so I kind of had a background in that, but I never was like really in the technical part of it, of course, because, you know, you got to be pretty smart to do all that, you know, like just the back end stuff. And I learned and taught myself how to build websites from scratch and stuff very early on, because I was kind of experimenting with what I could do as a business online.
So you actually, I mean, that's a pretty complicated thing, or I guess, I mean, I know today it can be a lot easier depending on the programs that you use, but you actually taught yourself how to build websites?
Yeah, through WordPress and all that. And I had somebody that actually inspired me, someone I found on Facebook, and this person did the same thing. And I kind of followed what they did and just taught myself because I saw that they were having success with it. And, you know, they were doing other stuff as well, but I hadn't reached that point yet. So I learned a lot about the online world, just kind of, you know, from this one random person. And then eventually the following year, I started trying to do my own little marketing business. I actually did pretty well, making like random flyers and stuff for people, doing designs, building websites, real basic stuff. Like, you know, I was a beginner, but I was still able to have people pay me and stuff for it. At the time, I still was working like a part-time job, like an office, to bring in money for my family and, you know, have a stable income. And but you know, even though I had that a little bit of extra income and I was proud of myself and I had my small little business, it's just like, for the amount of work I was doing, it still wasn't worth it. You know what I mean? I knew I needed something else. So
let me just chime in for a second there, because I don't know if you guys are picking up on this. I'm actually going to make our screens a little bigger here just so we're cool. There we go. I don't know if you guys are picking up on this, but Tara, what you basically just said something really cool without actually coming out and saying it, and that's you saw somebody who was getting great results online. You followed what they were doing. So, in other words, for all you guys that are watching this, that see people like the Webergs and the Reekers and myself or whoever, like people that are getting results, you followed what they were doing, and then you basically kind of self-taught yourself. You're like, well, if they're doing it, I can do it. So I'm going to learn the same thing that they know, and I'm going to start going and generating my own results. So I mean, that's super cool in itself, and you're doing all that before you even got to Now Lifestyle, which is crazy. So I mean, I hope you guys are kind of picking up on this. It's basically like a no BS excuse, like zero excuses type of thing. Hey, if other people are getting results out there, so can I, and I'm going to go learn how to do it. Like, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Well, thank you. And I ended up finding out that this person was actually a lot younger than me, probably 5 years younger than me. So way, getting started in their career. So I was like, definitely, they can do it. I for sure can. So then I actually started making some money and getting a few customers. But like I said, I wasn't, it was a lot of work, just not enough, to cover the bills and get what I needed to do, which was, I had a lot of debt at the time. We'll get there. But then about a year ago, I found, I can't even remember their name because I don't know, because I skipped over them. But I found a man who somehow I got on their email list, and they had a marketing company they were affiliate for, and I saw that they were promoting like another person, and that person actually was Jen Weeman. And for some reason, I don't know.
Also been a guest on these webinars too.
Exactly. And I don't know why that I didn't follow the man. I don't know why. Maybe because I couldn't relate to him because he's a man and I'm a woman, I guess. Maybe. So that's what maybe made me click on Jen. And I realized, yes, that is what happened, because I saw that she had a family, she had kids, and, I could relate to her a lot. And so I started following her instead. And thank God I did, because she's been a blessing ever since. And then I followed her, and we were on with another affiliate company, and that went south. But this is how she had started posting about Now Lifestyle, and that is how I got to know the company, of course. And I trusted her because I saw what she had done previously, and I saw what she was doing with Now Lifestyle currently. And so, of course, I jumped on board. And that's kind of how I came here today. So.
Nice. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. It's like you've obviously had a little bit of experience prior to Now Lifestyle, dabbling and experimenting with a few things, and obviously getting some results too, because you said you were kind of getting some sales and some customers, which is awesome. And I think it's really cool because that's all self-taught, and you just knew that, you had a passion for something, you learned it, you started to build, and there's not a lot of people that can say that, because realistically, there's not a lot of people that will go do that in order to get those results, because nowadays, and it's unfortunate, and there's people here that are probably on that same wavelength, where it's that microwave mentality. It's like you sign up for something and then you turn around and expect instant results. And I even had that same question asked to me today. Somebody who signed up a couple of days ago and said, hey, I just noticed I had people in my downline. Why aren't I earning money? And it's like, well, you don't earn money just for signing up. It's not how it works. You actually have to do, I almost swore, but public forum, you actually have to do stuff. Like, you gotta do something, you don't just get paid to sit here. But I think it's great that you're taking your own initiative to figure this stuff out, which is really, really cool. So you found your way to Now Lifestyle, and clearly you've been recognized as a rising star, and you're starting to build a great team. So once you got on board, what are some things that you did to get your business moving? How did you start getting your business up and off the ground?
Okay, so immediately I followed Jen's instructions. She was my sponsor, my coach, and so I set up my LCS and started driving traffic immediately, because I knew that that's kind of what I was missing in my previous company experience with the other affiliate. I wasn't really driving traffic. I was doing it a different way, maybe trying to do it organically. But I knew that the key to any business is customers. You have to have customers in front of your business to get sales, right? So getting a list, getting an email list, I knew how important that was. And so, yeah, I started driving traffic, and it took a while, but eventually things started unfolding and things started happening for me, and I started seeing results because I just stayed consistent. Because before I knew if I wasn't consistent, I wasn't going to see results because I've seen it happen. I've experienced it myself with, customers in my little side marketing boutique. So, yeah.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. So you connected with your coach, you set up your lead capture system. What type of, what type of specific traffic or things that were you doing to really start getting that list going and start getting those, obviously the people coming towards you, because, clearly you're building a team. So maybe tell us a little bit about how you're doing that.
Okay. So the first month I strictly ran solo ads through a provider. And then we started experimenting with other solo ad providers. And that actually really helped. I was kind of nervous at first because I thought, okay, I'm just sending my link out to all these random people, but they're not random. They're a selected group. They're, high quality traffic. So, and that's what you're paying for. And so I made sure to get the right kind of traffic. And once they started rolling in, I knew that I had my 5 days or however many emails in my lead capture system going out to them. So I knew that in a way I was still communicating with them, even if I thought or felt like I wasn't. And then from there, I eventually started doing my broadcast emails. And then once I got down the road, like maybe 2 months in, I started purchasing guaranteed paid signups. And I've done a little bit of Facebook leads, but I find a lot of positive with the guaranteed paid signups as well.
Awesome. Yeah. So right off the bat, you got your lead capture system set up. You work with your coach. You got your lead capture system set up. You started driving some solo ads, which I agree to a lot. Like, when you first make that initial plunge into, really an automated business, you go purchase traffic, the traffic comes to your link, and then you start getting leads, which I would imagine that's probably a pretty cool feeling for a business owner to start generating leads and seeing your list kind of grow and grow. Right. So obviously then you got that moving a little bit, then you started getting some more, experimenting with different solo ad vendors, which I think is good. I mean, you don't really want to put all your eggs in one basket. I mean, unless that one basket is producing, great results for you, you want to kind of diversify a little bit. And then you started getting into guaranteed paid signups, which is, that's a breadwinner program right there. And it's funny because not only you, but I think 99% of the other people that have been on these Tuesday recognition webinars are doing the same thing. A lot of them have invested in solo ads, and just about every single person is using the guaranteed paid signups because it's just that. It is a guaranteed paid signup, someone who pays money to join you in your business, which it's like, I don't know how you can really go wrong with that. It's been pretty good. I mean, obviously, you're doing a lot of the right things that are building your business. I mean, at this point, like how long have you been in Now Lifestyle?
I guess since June. So 4 months, 5 months. You do the math.
So we'll just go, we'll call it 4.5 months, which is awesome. Cause I mean, in that short amount of time, clearly you're building your list. You've been recognized as a rising star by the CEO of the company, which is awesome. So congratulations on that. You crossed the stage at the national event. And I mean, how many people are on your team at this point, between both legs, roughly?
About 100. So, yeah.
Awesome. So literally in just a short few months time, you've already built a team of 100 plus people. You're following the steps that are in the system. You're working with your coach. Is there any like secret formula that I'm missing here? Because it seems like the stuff that you're doing is pretty simple.
Secret, not very secret, but I'll tell you my formula. I'll tell you everything. something I noticed too, if you do stay consistent, I've noticed for me, not only is my traffic, doubling and stuff, I never even had like traffic before with the other company. Like, so I never had any experience with it. Like people actually responding and taking action. So this was like a new thing to me. So it was very exciting, very. And I noticed I finally made, my first commission, and I noticed each month they'll double a little bit. It's not much yet so far, but I have finally started to do something and make money online, and that's ultimately what I'm trying to do to provide for my family.
Did you just say that your commissions doubled after the first month?
Yeah, they've been doubling every month. It's just little, but still, they're consistent. They're going up, and you got to feel good about that, right?
Yeah,
And
if no matter what your commissions are, if they start to double every month, that's a pretty good thing.
And yes, and so honestly, my coaches Adam and Ashley Reeker, they kind of said the same thing. They were slow to start in the beginning, didn't really have a lot of people reach out to them. It took me till my seventh person to finally, in my holding tank, to finally actually say, oh, hey, yeah, I do want to get set up and start this business. The other people I didn't talk to. But Adam and Ashley Reeker, they kind of said the same thing. They didn't have much at first, but slowly and steady, if you're consistent, they started to see things double, quadruple. And I took that in, and I really was like, if they can do it, why can't I, right? They're busy people too.
Yep.
They both full-time jobs. I work part-time, feels like full-time because I bring it home too. And then I got a kid. So it's like, Adam, Ashley, Jen, all these people before me could do it. Why can't I? If they're doing the same steps and they're sitting here teaching me, all you have to do is duplicate what they're doing, and you'll see results eventually. That's what I've been doing kind of with Jen. I've been just following her and watching her lead, and she inspires me daily with her posts that she puts on Facebook, her Facebook groups, her broadcast emails. I watch what they do, and I just kind of implement what they do, but brand it towards myself. I send out my broadcast emails. I make sure I have my photo, my image in there. If you guys definitely need to get images of yourself eventually, like some professional photography. If you can't afford it at first, iPhone, go outdoors will work great, but they really do make a difference. You can include
these little guys work great.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. And just to include any image of yourself to show that you're a real person. I think that's what people really are looking for now. They're looking for honesty and transparency and seeing like a real life person out there these days, because they've been scammed so much. I know I have. So yeah, secrets not so much, but the best thing I can say is follow up. I didn't follow up very, I guess, quickly before, and I feel like if you do it as fast as you possibly can and you just make sure to follow up your text message or call or email with people, say, hey, you can even shoot me a message on Facebook. That seems to work the best. I finally started to see people, actually correspond with me, communicate back and say, hey, yeah, I am interested and I do want to do this business. So.
Awesome. So, just quick recap in there too, because you mentioned a lot of really, really good things and it was moving along. So I just want to make sure that everybody paid attention. Hopefully I get this all right too, you're sending broadcast emails, which is awesome. And you mentioned a couple of cool little nuggets in there, like making sure that you have a picture of yourself in your email, which, sounds really simple, but a lot of people just kind of oversee that. They just leave the follow-up emails as is. But also the difference is, the follow-up emails are the ones that go out automatically when somebody logs into your capture page or, one of your LCS capture pages. But you're sending out broadcast emails as well, which is really cool. You're putting your picture in there. You're helping brand you. You're helping people identify with you. You're creating that know, like, and trust, which is awesome. Just out of curiosity, what are some things that, when you're sending out broadcast emails, what type of content or what are you typically writing to the list that you're building right now?
Well, I recently had sent one just telling stories. I like to tell stories a lot of the time.
I love stories.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I can give you an example right now, but telling stories and then kind of relating it back to the business it always seems to work. I always seem to get more opens that way.
Yep.
So whether that's like a story from a long time ago, like a bad day you had at work and how you can relate that to your business now, or maybe, just talking about your family in general, just explaining your family. Any kind of story that will relate to yourself and brand yourself is always best, I think. So, just be real and be truthful and honest. Never, never say anything that could get you in trouble or just like doesn't really sound truthful. I really think people nowadays, they, like I said before, they want transparency. I just feel like now lifestyle, when I found this business, it hit all of those marks for me, all those points that I needed to join a business, because I was gun shy before because I had been screwed over. So this company represents exactly, what I want to do with my life, and helping other people build businesses. That's
Awesome.
what I want to do. So yeah.
Awesome. A few people, I just got to take a minute here. A few people are commenting that they can't, they don't have any audio. If you guys can hear myself and Tara, do me a favor, just drop a 2 in the comment box. Again, if you can hear both of us, just drop a 2. And yeah, twos all around. Okay, cool. So I think there's a few random people in there that are having the issue. So it's always a few random people because somebody either joins on a weird phone in a tough area with not a lot of signal or whatever it is. So I would say 85 to 90% of the people can hear us just fine. So good. So obviously with the guarantee paid signups, with the solo ads, with the follow up, the broadcast emails, I mean you're building a team. You got some momentum going, which is really, really awesome. Tell me this, or tell everybody this, when you get someone lands in your holding tank. I mean, obviously it's a great feeling, especially when it's happening on automation, because you don't have to physically like get on the phone and be like, yo, Uncle Phil, you want to join my business? You can just use the tools that are provided to you, whether it be solo ads or guarantee paid signups, Facebook leads. But when you get somebody in your tank, somebody joins Tara, somebody joins you, how do you like take yourself back to when you first got started? Like, how do you get them started? What's that connection process? What's that follow-up process? Because you mentioned follow-up, which is huge. It's very key, very important. How do you follow up with that brand newest person?
Okay. Well, first of all, getting anyone in your holding tank is always the best feeling. Always. Yep. I'm like, hey, do a little dance, tell everybody. I'm like, I call my husband. I'm like, I got
Can you show us the dance? I mean, is that cool or?
I just,
Okay.
I'm the best dancer. That's my happy dance, Anyway, trying to embarrass me, Daniel. So once I have someone in my holding tank, the first thing I do is I send them a welcome email. We have templates, places on our Facebook file groups, on the 6 Fit Fitness. Sorry, it's always a tongue-tied twister to say. We have swipe copy available for that. So I'll always send it to them and say, hey, this is exactly what you need to. I'm sorry, let me back up. I always send my welcome email to the person in the holding tank, and then when hopefully they answer, but sometimes they don't. Then I'll send a text message, and usually they do by then. But so like I said, it took me to my 7th person to finally respond back. I will call and leave a message because why not? I want them to know that I'm a real person and I am here to help. That's the whole
point. So you email them and you call them.
Yeah, and text. Yeah.
Awesome. So you email, text, and call.
Yeah, but usually I wait a little bit before I call because I don't.
Of course.
People are weird about calling these days. Like I said.
Yeah. You don't want to come across like a stalker or anything like that.
Well, this is an online business. People don't want to be on the phone. I get it. And from there, if somebody is interested and they do want to talk, what I do is I immediately tell them the first step that they need to do is go through the welcome email, follow those steps, kind of get yourself familiar with the business, on our Facebook groups, etc. And then what I tell them to do after that, obviously, is to set up their LCS, And then it's a very simple thing to do. But when I am talking to these people, I don't know who they are. I don't know what experience they had. They could be completely new to the internet. You never know. And so what I do is I talk to them like this, like in elementary terms, like I'm talking to elementary school, trying to explain it that simple. Because if I don't, I'll confuse them. And I've done it before. I'm sure I've confused people before because, I do have a little experience, so I can kind of talk real fast through it. But whether that takes getting on the phone or a Zoom meeting or, in our conferences, calls that we have now in the back office, or whether that's just picking up the phone, calling them, or even Facebook messaging I've done, screenshots. I have to talk to them like very simple terms, because if they do get confused, people who get confused, even myself, if I do get confused, it's like you get so frustrated you want to give up sometimes. So the more simple you can talk to them, the better.
Awesome. I mean, I think that's great. You email them, you text them, you call them, you try to get that connection, and then just kind of walk them through some similar steps that sounds like you went through too. But also, I think it's very, very key what you're saying here too, because especially for those of you guys that have been in this for, even 30 days. I mean, you can consider that like a tenured affiliate, because a lot of people sometimes, especially that microwave mentality that we talked about, a lot of people quit so soon, they don't have the chance to just gain even like a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of experience. So explaining it to the average brand new person, like, really like a 5-year-old. So it's easy to digest, easy to explain. I think that's very, very beneficial. So hopefully you guys are kind of picking up what she's putting down, because obviously what she's doing is working, or else she wouldn't be here. She wouldn't have crossed the stage and been handed a cool award by Joel Terrian, the CEO of this company. So you guys should be thinking about some of this stuff. Now, speaking of the national event, I want to talk about some of this stuff real cool. I mean, just highlight this for a little bit. I mean, first off, you got recognized as a rising star. You got to cross the stage, get your picture taken, all that stuff. Like, how cool was that? Like, what did that feel like? Take us through that process there.
Going on stage was, honestly, the best feeling. It just felt like, wow, all that hard work, it paid off, and this is finally happening for me. And I'm finally with a company that, I can get behind and that I love. I love all the people that are there, and I just met so many people, and I was very nervous, of course, to meet people that I've been talking to online. It's kind of like online dating in a weird way, because you don't know them. And so when I finally got there, meeting them, it was just so exciting to meet the people on my team, to meet you, even to get to know you guys. I've seen faces and talked to them on the phone, but it was nothing like, the real deal, because these are real.
I'm actually a real person, believe it or not. It's like, this isn't just like some cool hologram.
Your face. It's kidding. But going across the stage, unbelievable. Such a proud moment. Awesome. It was awesome. Yeah, it was great.
Well, congratulations on that. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, so many people got to cross the stage, yourself included. So, I mean, it's great that you got to experience in that. And speaking of getting there to experience that, I know there's a little bit of a story, and hopefully you don't mind if we kind of expand on this a little bit too, because I think it just shows that you're and if you guys just step back and look at the bigger picture here, and once you hear Tara's side of this, you'll understand. Now Lifestyle really isn't her first rodeo, and she could have tried, she could have failed, she could have given up, she could have quit. But she didn't. She kept going. She found ways to win for, herself, for her family, for her kid, whatever. So she found a way to win online, and now she's doing that and doing it very well with Now Lifestyle. And something happened that for a lot of people would have actually prevented you from getting to the event. But, you did end up getting there a little bit late. But why don't you tell everybody this story a little bit, because I think it's really cool and it just shows your persistence and determination.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, honestly, with Now Lifestyle, being the second time around with the company online marketing and not having success before, just based off what happened, um, I knew I had to just go all in and just not give up and just do it for real, stay consistent, just do this business for real this time, like I'm ready, it was time. And so I think now,
Real quick, why
yeah,
in your opinion do you think it was so important to get to the national event? Why was that important to you?
well, because because I had made the decision that Now Lifestyle in this business, it had to work from the beginning. Like I had made that decision. So getting to the event was not just because of the fact that I paid for a ticket to be there and, people were expecting me to be there and all that. Getting to the event was like a symbolization of just like how hard I've worked to get here and how I've hung in here to see success. Um, it's important because that's who I am. It represents who I am. And I don't know. You want me to tell my story of what happened?
Yeah. Go for it. Go for it.
So, it was the first day of the event. It was Saturday. I was, getting all ready and glammed up and so excited to meet everybody. And on my way down, I was driving on IH-35, the main highway in Texas, goes all the way up the country. It's such a dangerous highway. Oh gosh. And my tire blew, and I had never had that happen to me before. I was about halfway there,
Must have been
and
scary.
I was terrified. It was so scary. Oh gosh, I mean, shaken up for hours really, and didn't know the feeling, what was happening. Anyway, luckily I was safe and survived. Gosh, it could have been worse, is what I'm saying. But I was really shaken up by it, and I still made it there. I was very late, but I still made it there because I knew I had to be there, because I knew by being at that event was so important because of all of the things that everyone had to say, all of the golden nuggets I could receive for my business, the exposure, just meeting the people, walking across the stage, all of it was so impactful for me in my business. Honestly, it also helped drive me forward in my business and kind of gave me another push forward in the right direction. So yeah, it was very important to be there.
Yeah, I mean, again, that just shows your persistence and determination. Is that like, somebody threw you a huge lemon and it scared the crap out of you, and it literally could have derailed you and just said, "Oh, you know what? This isn't my day. It's not my time. I'm just gonna go back home and tuck my tail between my legs and call it a weekend." But you found a way to win, and that's what this business is all about. It's about finding ways to win. So however you're trying to get your business up and off the ground, you got to find ways to win. And Now Lifestyle provides you with a lot of those ways, whether it be the leads, the guaranteed paid signups, your coach, the community, these webinars, whatever. There's always information for you out there to help you along the way. So I think with that, what I want to do is I want to kind of tap into your brain a little bit here. And with that determination, with that persistence, that drive, that motivation to, get yourself to that next level. And you described the national event as something that was something for you to kind of, help push your business along the way, to help push you to, reach that point in your, I guess your progress in building your online business and building yourself as well. What are some things that are driving you, Tara? Like I know you signed up, you got started, but like what is really making you do this? Like why at the end of the day are you building a business online? Why are you doing this, period?
Well, I am, the simplest answer is that my family. Yeah, sure, I have debt. Yeah, sure, it'd be great to have that paid off and be free, blah, 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 and have a lot of money and freedom. And yes, of course, I want that. Who doesn't? The American dream, right? But honestly, the thing that's driving me is my family. I have a son. He's 4 years old. You know, I want the best for him. But honestly, it's my husband. He was there for me when things were really tough in my life, and he came and kind of saved me in a way. He was kind of like my saving grace, my angel. And so I want to be that for him. And he
Mhm.
works so hard every day. He works on cars. He's worked there since he was 18 years old, and he kind of has the same work ethic as me. And he's worked his way all the way up to be a shop foreman and master technician. And he had a really hard upbringing in his life. You know, they were very poor. And so I want to be able to give back to him, because what he's been able to give to me, he was there for me. I don't know. He's my reason, my why, my family, so my boys. They're
Awesome.
everything.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, obviously you heard a lot of very powerful stories at the national event and got to hear other people's whys. And I think it's great when you have something so deep down inside you that just pushes you along. You know, nothing's gonna prevent you from getting the results that you want. So whether it be other failed businesses, a blown out tire, on your way to a national event, whatever it is, you're just going to keep going. So I think it's great that you have resonated with that, you've found that, and you have that. And to be real with you guys that are watching this, some of you guys, like, it's okay if you don't fully understand what that is just yet. Because I know, like, when I first got started, and I'm sure, Tara, it might have been the same for you too, a lot of times people sign up for online businesses or any business really because it's about the money. But
Yeah.
once you once you get to really till you that first tough challenge, that first, could have been a failing business, or it could have been whatever it is, whatever that hiccup, that bump in the road is, that's where your true colors come out. And that's when it's like, and this is where I love quoting Jim Rohn. I say this all the time, is that, like, if you really want to do something, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. Whatever the insert your excuse here. Oh, I didn't have the time. I don't have the money. I don't, whatever the BS excuse is as to why you can't do it, that'll get in the way. But if obviously, like Tara here, if you know your why and you know why you're doing this and you know the results that you want to bring into your life for you or your family or whoever, like, nothing's going to get in your damn way. And I can tell that just from listening to you and meeting you in person and just knowing what you've accomplished in such a short amount of time. Like, nothing's going to get in your way because, like, you got that locked and loaded, which is awesome. Awesome. So
Get my way.
we've been rocking and rolling here. So let me ask you this, and we'll wrap this up after this. For everybody that's brand new, that's watching this for the very first time, whether it's now or they watch the replay, or maybe for the folks that just got started but they haven't taken any action yet, they're either sitting on the outside of the bubble and they haven't pulled the trigger to actually get going yet. What would be your advice for that newest person that hasn't gotten started yet?
Well, I know people are always kind of weary about investing money, any kind of money. Well, it's such a small investment, I always say. There's different options. I've seen other companies where it's just completely different. My best advice would be to just get started, because you have the dollar trial. You really don't have much to lose. You can always, go back if you really want to, but the whole thing is the reason why people don't succeed in what they want to do is because they just don't get started. They just kind of think about it, sit on it, and then either they do get started and they just quit, or something negative kind of pushes, like somebody might say something that pushes them the wrong way. So what I'd like to say to those newest people is try to kind of use your tunnel vision. Don't let people's thoughts, especially at first, get in your head, because that's when you want to really do the work and stay grounded and stay consistent with your business. And if you're letting people's comments and your fears get in the way, it's only going to slow you down. So just try to stay grounded, stay consistent.
That is some pretty damn solid advice right there. So, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but again, I hope you guys have been taking notes. I hope you picked up on like the 97 golden nuggets that you sprinkled throughout the webinar. But for those of you guys that are on the fence, if you have not gotten started yet, if you're watching this for the very first time and you haven't started, you haven't signed up yet, I'm going to drop a link right now. You guys can go to nls1d.com. That's nls1d.com. You guys can get started today, like right now. Just wait till the webinar is over, but you guys can get started right now for $1, like literally $1. And then you can come into our community. You can work with people like Tara, or who knows, you might even be signing up with Tara, which is good. And if you're watching this and you're on her list and you haven't gotten started yet, then get started right now, because she's thebomb.com and she will be a kick-ass coach for you. Sorry, I said I wouldn't swear. She will be a kick butt coach for you, and help you get started. So yeah, get started today, nls1d.com. Take the $1 trial. See if this is a good fit for you. Okay, see if this is a fit for you, because it's a fit for Tara and it's a fit for many other people here on this webinar. So guys, do me a favor. If you guys thought that Tara brought the heat tonight, she brought the value, she added even just a little bit of value into your business today, do me a favor, just let her know. Throw some A's, which is the electronic applause, and let her know what you saw. We'll peel back this picture so we can see hopefully all these A's coming in. But yeah, I think Tara, awesome job tonight. Really appreciate you jumping on board and taking time out of your day to be here with us and adding value to the lifestyle community.
I want to say one more thing. If you guys, the thing I love best about Now Lifestyle is that the coaches really are, and people's sponsors are here to help. Everyone is going to help you. You're not going to be alone. So just know that part is very true. So.
Awesome. Well, again, we'll wrap this up. I know that some of us want to go catch the World Series and go at least rooting for the home team. Go Sox. But other than that, yeah. Again, thank you so much. Congrats on all your success so far. And I know this is just the beginning. So we're going to see a lot more of you on the leaderboard, I'm sure. And I'm sure at the next event you're going to be on the stage sharing your story and adding even more value into people's lives, which is absolutely awesome. So I can't wait for that. So again, thank you guys. For Tara, I'm Daniel. You guys have a fantastic evening. We will see you guys very, very soon. And as always, we'll see you on the leaderboard. Stay tuned tomorrow night for Richard and John at 8 o'clock Eastern and Janet on Thursday at 8 o'clock Eastern. Have a good night, guys. Talk soon.
Bye, guys.